So, Slick, again, I was all eyes on the game. What in the world did the win say about the Lakers to you?
It says that LeBron James has the closer that he always has had when he has chased the title successfully. And he has the closer that he's needed and that has not been there, and as a result, they haven't been able to get past the Denver Nuggets the last few years.
Well, how did you see that last night?
And that is Luka Doncic.
How did you see that? Like, what tells you that?
Because we saw LeBron James in the fourth quarter, decided to step up. He was trying to take that, and then kind of ran out of gas. And so you get to overtime, and Luka Doncic demonstrates, whatever matchup I've got, I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to get it done. He scored 5 points in the overtime. To me, it was that guy. You don't have to ask me, as he's been asking Anthony Davis, can you take over when I get a little fatigued? You don't have to ask Luka.
What was so fascinating, we saw in real time that Luka said, I'm going to ask for forgiveness, not permission. The beginning of overtime. I'm thinking to myself, it's LeBron's team. Luka didn't even look at LeBron James.
Oh, yeah.
Luka just went to work and he cooked cat. Second possession in overtime. I'm thinking, it's LeBron's team.
No.
Surely Luka's going to distribute the ball. Luka's like, nah, I'm going back to work again. Trey ball.
This is who he is. I mean, this is who he is, and this is actually what LeBron has wanted the last few years from Anthony Davis. Hey, dude, when you've got the matchup that we can exploit, I want you to go take it. Luka's like, whatever matchup there is, I can exploit it. Now, we saw some red flags, too.
Yep.
In terms of dribble penetration, that was a big problem. Luka acting like a petulant child at times, where like he could have gotten in trouble with the officials. So there's some warning signs, but overall, they got the piece they need.
Overall, is one of the best games I've seen all season.
Luka, just because he was the one who closed it in overtime. But honestly, there's no wrong answer here, and it's the combination of LeBron, fourth quarter. And it was so eerie in that we've seen this plenty of times. Like, by default, he wanted help from Anthony Davis. He'd have to, I guess AD's not going to get it done. I got to go get it done in the fourth quarter. And then you'd get to OT in a situation like this, and you were just asking too much from a 40-year-old to give it for you in the fourth quarter to try to close it and then do it in overtime. And that's what makes these guys so dangerous, is that LeBron will do it in the fourth quarter. Luka really didn't have it going on. He was turning the ball over, looked a little unsure of himself. And then you get to OT, and he's like, okay. Thank you, LeBron. We extended it. I can get the job done now. And then he closes it out. And so you've got the guy that LeBron James has always wanted. And let's face it, the Lakers really didn't play all that well. They
didn't shoot great.
Yeah. They didn't shoot great, and the Knicks are not a good at defending the three. So the shots were there, right? And they didn't knock them down. And then there was the reason that the Knicks were doing what they were doing is because Jalen Brunson was able to get dribble penetration. And the one flaw in the win is the fact that Jalen wasn't able to finish.
Yes.
Right? So it still raises the question. Yeah. And I also look at the Knicks as their Achilles heel is, yes, Jalen Brunson is great at penetration and being your go-to guy. But when your go-to guy is 6'2" and isn't super athletic, like there's a limitation there. There's certain matchups where the game gets really hard for him, as we saw. And so this is not the ultimate test for the Lakers.
Not yet. It was a very good test, of which I think LeBron was most impressive. But I think LeBron was most impressive because the hardest thing to do in sports, in my mind, for an elite athlete, especially those I've been around, it's not actually what you have to do physically. It's what you have to do mentally. It's what you have to do emotionally. It's what you have to do not only staying locked into a game, but it's, can I make everybody around me better? It is easy to be a force. It is harder to be a force multiplier. The fact that LeBron James, one of the greatest players of all time, maybe the greatest player of all time, not here for that argument right now, that he can in overtime allow Luka, and I say allow because it is LeBron's team, that he can allow Luka to say, you know what, I'm going to cook. And that LeBron's not going to want on the next possession to go call for the ball and say, wait, I'm the king. I'm the king. The fact that the second possession in overtime, after Luka cooks cat, LeBron allows Luka, and I say allow intentionally, to go cook again. And then Luka hits another tray ball. Now the Lakers are up by 5. Now the third possession with the Lakers up by 5, LeBron says, okay, Now I'll do what I got to do without checking out of the game, without having any tension within the game, without any issue at all. To me, that is why LeBron still, who had, I believe, 31 and 12 and 8, that is why LeBron's game was more impressive.
Can I add to that? Because you make a great point, and I'm glad you did, there's one thing to hand it over, right? But then to still be involved and still be locked in and still be ready, which he was, like, that is very special. Like, to stay engaged even as you're taking a step back, I agree with you.
It's a perfect James and Chase. It's a perfect game of double dutch. I don't know if y'all ever seen. It's a perfect because most players will just sit there and watch Luka cook, and then when it's time for them to do the thing, that's what happened with the Knicks. The Knicks were watching Brunson cook the whole game. Then when Brunson got hurt in overtime, then Josh Hart was like, Cat especially. By the time Brunson got hurt, they were so out of the game. Cat was out of the game. OG, who had cooked, OG had, I believe, 13 points in the first half, 5 points early in the third quarter. OG, who had been cooking, he was out of the game because it was a Brunson show.
They had Miles McBride come in and go, can you
do something? But what I love, JJ, about what LeBron did and why it was so impressive, not statistically, I don't care about the stats as much as he was able to allow Luka to cook, and when it was his time, he cooked like he ain't miss a beat.
Yeah, I mean, flip a coin.
Yeah, exactly.
Both of them went to work and went crazy and had really good basketball games. But I'm going to go with Luka because when I watch Luka play, and that's the thing about the Lakers, all these dudes is always locked in because you playing with two of the greatest passers, really, that probably this game has ever seen in Luka and LeBron that knows how to get everybody to basketball. So they always locked in because they think, oh, this is my time to get a shot. Look, Luka see me, right? Because some of these passes that Luka was making, I'm like, bruh, how is he making these passes? Like, Luka had 12 assists. He easily could have had 20.
No doubt.
They missed some bunnies off of Luka's. You know what I mean? He easily could have had 20. But watching Luka play the basketball game and making everybody better, and then getting the basketball in overtime and saying, I'm going to make myself better, right? Taking the matchup. I gotta lean towards Luka. I mean, these two right here, man, is dangerous, man. To be playing this well together this early, the way they are playing, it's special. And then even watching Bron, like, I loved what he did. Luka got the ball, you got Ant on you, Luka get in the paint, fade away, bucket. Bron come back down, bro, you got the hot hand, go to work. But that's all of him knowing, too. I know who I'm playing with. I seen this dude take over games in Dallas. I ain't crazy. You know what I'm saying? So letting him, I wouldn't even say let, because I feel like Luka was like,
let me have it.
But here's why I say let, because, again, the facility, what makes this super unique is the fact of you've played with alphas. You've played with Greg Jennings, a 1,500-yard receiver. And sometimes there's a little animosity when your other teammate is cooking because you're like, wait, I'm supposed to be him. I've played with superstar players. Hassan McCoy is usually at this desk, and he's talked about how if Deshaun Jackson saw Jeremy Maclin get busy, hold on now, I want to get busy too. And we're talking about LeBron James. Let me not compare Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, Greg Jennings, or anybody to LeBron James.
On that point, though, I feel like Greg Jennings is like Bron. Greg Jennings was extremely unselfish. You know what I'm saying? Like, Greg Jennings was coming up, hey, bro, go to work. You know what I'm saying? But he knew what I could do. And I feel like Bron knows who he's playing with. I don't got to waste all this energy doing all this type of stuff. I got a dude that can do that, too. And that's what Luka showed you, and he's starting to show you consistently now.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Like, there's no wrong answer. Like, for me, LeBron is putting up MVP-type numbers since he turned 40. He scored the last 4 points at the foul line of the game. So you can say, hey, one of the better closers of all time, closed that game out, appreciated his effort, because what he's doing at 40, you know, you're 40, your knee's hurting, right? He's playing at a high level. You told me that, right? But for me, it's Luka. It's Luka without a doubt. He had more points, more assists. The big thing for him is, like, we know he can score. We know he can pass, right? But the effort on the defensive end, able to get hands in lanes. Like, he had 4 steals last night. Now, he had 5 turnovers himself. He's got to fix that. But when you're able to go and give that effort, and you got to give some credit to J.J. Redick on that, it's like, I feel like Luka's trying a little harder at this point in his career. And he got traded. He said, oh, that Dallas didn't want me. L.A. Lakers here. And if they can continue to play defense, I've given the stats multiple times through, they're playing the best defense, and it's not even close since January 21st in the entire NBA. I think that's what set him apart last night is his defensive effort. We know he's going to go for a triple-double almost every single night, right? They're 9-2 since they got there. I like the defensive side of the field for him, though.
The thing that got me was, and I'm sure you guys sensed it. Like when he got the ball down the stretch, Luka, particularly in overtime, you just got this. You could sense this from the Knicks. It was like, oh bleep, like he's got it and he's taking his time and he's just, sir, where am I going to go? How am I going to attack this? And you just feel like, oh, so they're in the torture chamber right now because you know he's going to get something, and you're just, how do we stop this?
You know
And
he's
going
to make the right play.
And then he's got the kick out for LeBron.
You know he's going to make
in
the right play.
case you double him and lock him up.
It was not just impressive, it was almost eye-opening and confirming. And we'll talk more about it in a moment. But, Slick, yesterday you said that the Lakers are a top 5 team in basketball.
Yeah.
I would have thought so before the game yesterday. I know so now. Yesterday, we would have thought that LeBron and Luka were meshing well together. We know so now.
They're a really good team.
And even in real time, the beauty of this, and if you watch the game, this is my favorite part of it in real time. We saw the chemistry play out. In overtime, Luka didn't even look at Bron. First 2 possessions. He didn't even look at him.
But I'm telling you,
That's what makes him special,
this is
man,
what LeBron has wanted. I mean, this really is LeBron's sweet spot.
Yeah.
Like, he'll orchestrate, and if you need him to go get it, he will get it. But he would rather be the orchestrator.
Yes.
Like, when he was with Kyrie.
Man.
So here though, Slick and James is why I say, and again, this is a conversation we don't have time for today, but here is why I say LeBron allows it. Because if y'all remember Clippers-Warriors 2018, this is why I say it.
I'm listening.
Clippers-Warriors 2018, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green. The score is 106-106. It's about to go into overtime. Draymond Green gets the rebound. Kevin Durant. Draymond Green dribbles, misses overtime. That is what led, and the person to my right, a journalist in the Bay Area, that is what led to Draymond Green and Kevin Durant and the Golden State Warriors parting ways. Because you have 2 alphas in a game that's going into overtime, and one wanted the ball, and one did not concede and fracture. What did we see yesterday?
That's stupid.
You had 2 alphas.
That is stupid.
A game in overtime. And one had the ball, and the other did not even care. Viewers at home, I'm telling y'all.
It's a regular season
no
game, though. What happens if this in the playoffs?
But that was a regular season game.
But what happens if that happens in the
I don't
playoffs?
think it's an issue, because what I'm suggesting is that 106-106, Clippers-Warriors, that was a regular season game.
Yeah.
That was just another Tuesday.
It was also...
But that was what led to the fracture.
Tuesday.
2 alphas, it's no small feat. Final thoughts, Slick.
Look, it was a clash of styles in that situation, too. Because what Draymond did was how they operated before KD got there. What made them special, which is Draymond could get a rebound, lead the break, and if you see, he wasn't going for his shot. I need to get to the middle of the floor, and then I'm going to kick out to Klay Thompson or to Steph. And KD's like, no, I'm here to be the closer. Give me the ball.
And yesterday, though, it could have been a clash of styles.
Yes.
Because there is
100%.
no player, and Anthony Davis, when he was there, was not I'm an ISO you and cook you, especially not from the wing. So what I'm suggesting is, like, yesterday, if LeBron was so tethered to his style of play, which he is not, because he is a master orchestrator, if he was so tethered to his style of play, we would have had an issue. LeBron don't just sit there and watch you play ISO ball, because who are you to play ISO ball? He ain't done it since Kai.
But I think,
never played with Luka
too,
before,
though, like Luka's different, and Luka's different
what I'm saying.
mindset-wise,
He's never
too, though.
played- yeah.
Like, Luka wasn't standing there like, I hope he passed it to me. Luka gave that thing up. You know what I mean? I just picked up my dribble too soon.
Come on. Hey, give it right back.
Luka ain't playing. Luka like, let me go to work.
Here, let me get a live dribble again. And give it back.
Give me the ball. Bro, you know what I was doing, my dribble. Hey, come on. And let me go to work.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.